Welcome, the War Chief of Light is back with another epic video. Hi, my name is PBE, but you lovely people are more than welcome to call me Peebs. Listen, I've been waiting a long time to make this video and gathering some information, making sure my opinions are on point. Today we're going to talk about my favorite Final Fantasy XIV character. Obviously, this is a very biased video, so this might not be your journey, and that's okay, but we're going into details why this is the best. Ready? Dulia Chai is my favorite Final Fantasy XIV character. Left field? Not so much. Let's look at it. Now, if you've been on my channel for a long time, and I mean a long time, you'll know that I have a bit of an affinity for Tyrande and Malfurion in World of Warcraft. The reason why is because they are a married couple who are happily married, who do nothing but boost each other up, and they don't have a relationship where one's above the other. They really work together, they love each other, and their marriage is never in question in the game. Does that sound impossible? Typically, in video games it is. There's always something, like the husband sent off to do something, the wife's got to take care of stuff, there's a divorce, things don't go well. Happily married people is something you don't see a whole lot of. And I like the storyline that people actually end up together and end up happy. I know, right? Mind-blowing. Dulia Chai and China's are that for Final Fantasy XIV, and it's incredible. They are an aging couple, which in Final Fantasy's world, that's like their 30s. Listen, call me salty, I'm still mad that they made Sid the old guy at 34. I'm 34. Anyway. Regardless of their privileges in the world, Dulia Chai and China's love each other to the fullest extent. They respect each other, they think about each other, they worry about each other. They really are an incredible couple. They don't ostracize each other. Listen, marriage isn't perfect, okay? It's not. But even when you have a little tiff or something, you still love and respect the other person. And again, that's what they do. And it's beautiful. China's thinks his wife is the most beautiful woman in the... He shits on Alphino for not capturing that and going over realistic in his painting. Again, pure love out of both of them, and I live for that shit. There's even a section where China's leaves, like, get the fucks out. She has no idea what's going on. She loses her damn mind. And it's because he was worried about failing her and wanted to come back only when he had performed a certain task. That's love. You worry about the other and you do what you can. She is also generally caring. Like, remember, this is a world that is rough, full of sin eaters and everything, and she cares for everybody that's in it. She sees the good in it. Again, look at how she treated Alphino from the moment she met him. She didn't dick him around and change her mind. She treated him like her son day one. Period. End point. Which, to be fair, even us, the Warriors of Light, it took us a while to, open up to Alphino, so I see you, ARR. She cares about whether Alphino ate well today, his successes, his failures, make sure he's got enough clothes on, as a mother would. And, I mean, even myself, who tends to be a little bit more of a cynical person, that type of light, that type of positivity is incredibly infectious in the best way possible, and I love that. Now, my first 2 points were pretty, standard. She's awesome. My next 2 points are a little bit more on the controversial side, and there may be some tougher subjects ahead. I'm letting you know. One of the big key factors of this couple, and especially Dulia Chai, is Dulia Chai represents privilege. She's a fat cat. Yeah. Listen, we know what that represents. Actually, we'll talk about the fat bit next. Ulmor is privilege, and she 100% lives that life. And much like real life, which is true, most people who have privilege are born into it. It's not a choice they made along the point and said, you know what, I feel like privilege now. Not really, not usually. You win the birth lottery, and she won. She's in Yulmore. She's happy, she's fed, she's got entertainment for days, she's got people that'll work for her hand and foot. She knows this. China's the same. He is ecstatic for his privilege. And at the very beginning, he exerts it. We know that the rest of the continent is being bled dry, is starving its populace, on top of all the spoilery stuff that happens in Ulmar, which... So why am I even mentioning this in the video of saying why I like Dulia Chai? Well, again, she didn't choose privilege. Most people don't. The difference is what she did with it. What did her and her husband do with the privilege they did not earn? Everything they fucking could. The moment they knew what was going on, they opened the doors to Ulmor unequivocally. The moment they knew that the populace was starving, again, Ulmor's doors were open. However, they had to look for a long-term solution. Trade routes, building farms with the golems or whatever you call them, I forget now. They condemned their privilege the moment that they were fully aware of the extent of it. Now, just like our real world, it is easy to say, I have privilege. It is easy to say, I want other people to also have privilege. Dog's playing with his bone. What is not easy is saying, I have privilege, and I'm going to take some away so other people can have some. The Chais never ever debated that point, and they were willing to give it all up to make sure everyone else was fed, to make sure everyone else was able to live in this cruel, desolate world. Like any change of government anywhere, there's still work to be done, and probably lots of it. But when we leave Ulmor, we know they're going to be okay, and that the Chais will 100% be happy to help however they can, no matter what they have to sacrifice to do it. Now, my last point's an even tougher subject, for me specifically. You'll see in a second why. Okay, so I want you to remove from your mind the symbolism of privilege and privilege discussion we just had. Okay, you ready? Dulia Chai is a fat woman. She's fat. She's a fat woman in a entertainment field, gaming, social media. You see where I'm going? She exists in a current world where her existence alone is enough to condemn her. Again, think about that. In case it's not obvious, listen. I'm a woman who lives in a larger body. I am a fat woman. I know how cruel and how terrible the world is for people like me for existing. Facts. We're not going to get into too deep because it's a deep hole how shitty it can get, but either way, you see where I'm going. In Final Fantasy XIV, this woman is loved. She has the most beautiful, breathtaking fan art. People love her. They treat her as a mother. They treat her as someone who's so deeply in love with her husband. And it's never, but she's fat. Never. China's never mentions her weight. China's never says, my wife is beautiful, but. Alphino never says, well, I captured her beauty, but. Never. That's incredible. Now, I'm going to sit here and acknowledge that Final Fantasy XIV has not always dealt with that subject very well. FFXIV. That is a video all of its own. Right now, I do not have the mental capacity to deal with that subject, and I know it's a tough one. Eventually, I'd like to talk about it, but that FFXIV's problematic at best. But not Julia Chai. She's a fat woman in the media where we don't mention her weight. She's happy, she is content, she exists. The story's not about the scale for her. And that's incredible. Representation is so goddamn important. And seeing someone like me, who is even bigger than I am, exist, be happy, and the world not hate her for it is incredible. Go through the forums and see all the stuff about Julia Chai. Go to Reddit. The amount of positivity ridiculously outweighs anything negative ever said about her. And it's everything for me. And more than likely, I'm not talking for everybody, but probably for a lot of other people like me too. I have spent many nights just thinking back about Julia Chai and what her representation means to me and just her character and what a character like her in, fuck it, every video game would do. And I fall in love with her a little bit more every time. Now again, Final Fantasy XIV is not a perfect game. FFXIV. But they nailed Julia Chai. So yeah, I've been sitting on this video for a while, and because of that last topic, it's something that I wanted to get right, that I wanted to get the terminology correct, be okay saying some of the stuff I did out loud, on camera. Again, it's a big deal, and I wanted to make sure I did it right and it felt good saying it. So I'm glad that I'm finally able to make this. And yeah, that's why Julia Chai does it for me. What do you guys think? What is your favorite Final Fantasy XIV character? Let me know in the comment section down below. If you like videos like these, you like the nerdy bits, you just want to watch me adventure and stuff. Listen, we do streams, we do adventures, we do all kinds of stuff right here on this channel. On top of that, I do stream a little bit on Twitch, so we get to see other stuff here and there. Either way, you know where to find me. I'm not hard to find at all. Have a legendary night. Thanks so much for being here, and I can't wait to see you guys again on the next one. Bye. And the bitch hugs with her whole heart. Her soul. I want a soul-crushing hug from Julia Chai. I want to hug with that veracity and love behind it. God damn, they nailed her.